On my last road less traveled adventure, I tramped around the Indonesian island of Java to explore the history of coffee, controversial temples, and iconic local history. I also had a semi-fail in finding the classic Pinisi boat, but I did meet some friendly sailors and longshoremen in the attempt. And walking into a station opened the door to join the hopeful at Indonesia's only firefighter training center. Jakarta, the country's megacity, is in trouble. The space is groaning under the weight of its continually booming population. This has led the government into an ambitious plan to move the capital to Borneo Island. I'm going to stick around to get to the bottom of this, but a unique temple will put the whole adventure in a completely new direction. Get ready to poke around, dip into the sacred, miss the mark, and swing it on the road less traveled. Jakarta has a problem. Ah yes, the traffic. True. Well, there's another. I'm trying to navigate the twisty, narrow streets of Pluit to find the place where land meets sea, with a little help. Seawalls are kind of a controversial thing. There's many reasons, but basically people say they treat the symptoms, but not the cause. Jakarta is getting flooded because there's no central water source. The wetlands have been devastated, so the proper channeling of the aquifer is not happening. And there are 1,000 pumps sucking up the aquifer to satisfy the thirst of a booming population. It's not the ocean or the sea that's rising as much as the city that's sinking. And now there's a lot of cities in the world that are facing a similar problem, but if all these cities were ships, Jakarta is the Titanic. I grab a ride with a local boatman and his friendly assistant. I want to check how the seawall is holding up and what communities are on the front line. You can see the original seawall, and this was an addition. Obviously they put some big sacks of dirt, sand on top, but it's not working anymore. You know, this losing battle against the ocean, against the water, has made many in the government start thinking about a managed retreat, which is an official term for just backing away from the sea, giving up. And this is part of what the whole moving the capital is all about. I get off the boat again on the suggestion of the captain. He wants me to see what's on the other side. If one place summarizes the whole story, this has got to be it. What do you think of the capital city moving to Borneo?
Saya nggak tahu, Mister.
The man, whose life could be greatly affected by policy, seems to be unaware of this momentous change. I retreat back to the center to get a cup of coffee and the opinion of my new friend Tirta about this old city, new city issue. He's gotta know. So the capital city is moving. Jakarta's gonna have its status revoked.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yes, they can move the capital. Architecturally speaking, I think with the new city layout, you can always create something that is much less traffic, right? And most importantly, Jakarta is sinking, so maybe that will take the brunt of Jakarta. However, that is only one part of the city, which is the infrastructure and the soul of the city, right? So this is the body. The body can be built new, but the soul of the city, that is something that we don't know what happens to that, because the soul of Jakarta will stay in Jakarta forever and ever. You cannot move that soul to Nusantara. But the question is, will Nusantara have a soul of a city or not? That is something yet to be seen.
Wow, that's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Now this is an interesting frame. Can the soul of Jakarta be moved or replaced? What exactly is the soul of Jakarta? How does one find the soul of a city? Is it the people who make it?
How do you find the soul of any city? How about yours? Where would you take me? Who would you introduce me to? What would I have to experience?
My best guess is to keep asking. So I'm gonna head down to meet some popular foodies who will show me the soul of the city through its cuisine.